Welcome to devlog number 1 for Byte Brothers. My name is Acorns. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. I do appreciate it. I'm recording this currently right now live on twitch.tv/Acorns. Would love to see you in the future for every other devlog. If you haven't had a chance, I'm going to literally throw in a quick recap from another video about what this game is about.
Byte Bros, computer repair, or shortened up to Byte Bros. It's fully a visual novel that's based on my short time working in, as I said, retail IT, where you're going to take on the role of a new technician hired to help the local computer shop.
Great. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to run through a lot of the UI stuff that I've been working on. I don't know why I started with the UI. Primarily, it was just because it was the first thing that felt easy to me to deal with, tweaking around shit. So that's kind of why I just started tweaking with that a ton. But also, it's been a lot of messing around with the music too, as well. I've got a couple different tracks that I've already kind of put in myself. If you don't know, I write my own music too, and that's kind of was the catalyst for me wanting to make a game, right? So that's kind of why we're here now. And we'll go ahead and start with this. And I'll load this up, and I'm just going to run you through what the game looks like at its current state.
Nuthaus Games.
There, yeah, that part I wanted to show the most. So this hasn't changed since the last version. But let's just go ahead and get right into it. And then I'll talk about some of the stuff about the UI, some things I tried in the last version. So off the top here, this is a very simple piece I wrote. Literally 2 chords. That's it. Because this part is so short, and I can use this for because I kind of what I figured out at one point is I wanted to straight up just have it be every you go through at least every other day is different, obviously. So I just made a little piece that's kind of like waking up or whatever. And you wake up and there's music. So this is it's literally 2 chords. One of the VSTs that kind of floated some, absolutely. Next up, I'm not sure what you're saying there. It's 2 chords that floaty. It's one of the synth patches is fuck, can't remember the name of it. It's the Stack by Spitfire Studios. I think it's the name of it. And then the other one is the Media Toolkit, which is just the piano you hear here. Just 2 stabs that'll sit there and loop. And in the background of that, you'll hear basically birds, outdoor noise. You can also see here if I just go ahead and hide my camera real quick. So this is the UI. It's fully inspired by pixels, just pixel type stuff. I don't know the best to describe it, but at one point it was going to look like this. Let's see if I can find the files. A little, yeah, Windows XP-ish too with the color scheme. Absolutely. Absolutely. Windows XP-ish. Where the fuck did I put these files? I don't remember to put these files now, unfortunately. You know, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to show you what I got. Hello, Zebby. Welcome to the channel. Please, thank you. What's going on? Because it was a very just gray. I was kind of formatting, and I took literally the Windows XP, basically UI kit, and just kind of bashed it across the entire game. I just mashed it in, and this is kind of what I ended up with after I grabbed this from itch.io. And I love the way this looks now. It's got this like kind of little like bezel. Oh, it's not a bezel. What is this called? Where it's an indent basically down here with the navigation for RenPy. So that's what the UI is at right now. So yeah, we'll just kind of run through it again. Like I can kind of walk through it as I'm kind of showing you stuff. But like the reason that I'm doing it the way I'm doing it is that this thing is not complete. This is 0.0.1. Fucking whatever the date is currently. That little music piece, didn't write that. That's a scratch track. Eventually it will get put in. That's something different. Eventually there might be voices here. I haven't determined that yet. And then there's going to be the intro right there. This is like the first other piece of music I wrote. This is called, I think, Morning Day 1, I think is what I wrote it. The first piece you heard earlier was called Hello World. If you don't know, in coding, one of the first things everyone always does is write a piece of code that will print out Hello World. So being that was the intro and the morning shit, and that might change too. A lot of this shit, it's going to change constantly. And I might keep it the same, I might not. But I do love this piece. This started out completely differently, okay? It started out as a different song completely. And I think I have it somewhere else. Or maybe I don't. But this part hasn't changed since this art at least hasn't changed, because you can see this man's got no pants or legs down here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, he needs to have his lower bottom drawn out. Oh, by the way, yeah, Braden, as he was named before, is now Bruce. That name was just, it didn't fit. It didn't fit at all. This track here now fits my style of music that I usually write as Acorns. So that's why I kind of transformed into what it did, because I had one track that I was trying to like shoehorn it into a style of, I don't know, just like typical Nintendo style music, and it didn't fit what I usually try to write. So this fits like me, and it fits this computer techno retro computer bullshit, if you will. Cool. Wait, we can type a name in. Eventually I'm gonna try to do pronouns, just so that when you pick a pronoun, they'll be like, oh, he, she, they, so on, inside of the text. And yeah, some of this art's not done. So this part, this is kind of funny. This is like the first question you come across. This didn't get showed last stream, so... what size do you need? And you would think this would change something, but this is also based on my experience of basically, this is based on my experience of just going to a place where it's a new job for me, and I didn't get my shirt the first week at the place I used to work at where I did this retail IT type job. So it would be like, all right, cool. I need an XL. Shit, we're out of that size. You're gonna get that response no matter what every time, okay? Because that's funny to me and to me alone. And the characters will comment on it every time. And you'll see the first customer we come up with. They'll be like, they didn't get you a shirt. And you'll see. And so yeah, this is like, I'll get your credentials, but in the meantime, I'm gonna have you shadow our senior tech. This is one of the other characters that you can romance. Jameson, the other one we saw earlier, that was one you can romance. But this one here, this is the other one you have seen before. I first showed the first art, the last stream, and in the last devlog, and you can see up there. You will see that. But this is Vanessa. So you don't see her until I click next. I've labeled that specific art Vanessa Hungover. She is not happy. She's got sunglasses on. She's literally trying to basically block out the nastiness of being hungover. That is fully what's going on here. Okay. So you can see here, yeah, she sees. I just want distillery. But yeah, she's one of the characters that you can romance. I'm very proud of some of this script that I've written here. This liner, I don't know why it makes me giggle, but it does. If by hungover you mean succeeding at drinking a lot of bourbon, then yes. Yes, I am. That line makes me crack up. I don't know why. So this is basically you getting to know Vanessa, and you kind of get a feel for her. Like, she calls you new meat, which, like, damn, that's kind of savage. I thought it was funny. I'm not going to go through all the dialogue, because I want you to kind of experience a lot of this dialogue for the first time when you're reading it. But this is the first actual question that actually does influence the story in some way. She asks you, what your level of knowledge at this job is like, okay? And so you have a couple options here. So I'm going to go with my actual experience in this, because I tried to get my A+ cert, didn't get it. I don't have a CS degree, fuck that. But I don't just game a lot, and nothing is broken at home so far. I have a lot of home lab. There's a server I have over there. Let's click that. Vanessa ain't too fond of that. She didn't like that. So she's like, oh, cool, neat, I guess. And it's going to tell you that every time. Like, if the character, as you're romancing him or wanting to know him more, you will get little notifications up here that says, like, oh, hey, Jameson liked that, or Vanessa didn't like that. They gained your trust, so on and so forth. And those will be kind of signified with flags in the actual game, inside the code at least. So, anyways, at least you're warm body. They just care that you're fucking there to work, basically. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. We got a lot of tickets to close today and quite a few appointments. And this is our first customer we come across. And so our first appointment today is Gertrude. Now, I had a lot of customers when I worked at Geek Squad that were straight up just fucking old as shit. Don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong. They were polite. They were very nice, okay? They were very, very, very nice, okay? But they were time vampires. This is a term I think someone passed along to me, or I might have came up with it. I don't know. But man, they sucked up my time when I worked with them. Okay. Again, they were very nice with the give your time. And the first rule of that job was time management. Like, just getting them in and out the door in the efficient amount of time was the goal. And in fact, that company had a motto that was like efficiency and accuracy, but in Latin. Like Quintas, I don't know. There's a reason I don't work anymore, okay? But he's like, oh, this part of the funny. Don't tell Bruce I called our older customers meat bags. I'm sure he wouldn't like that. Now, this is another trust thing, okay? Like, let's go ahead and say, like, yeah, I won't tell anyone, Vanessa. Yeah. So she didn't trust in you. That's a point, I have I found this great tutorial that gives you a point system about choices. And I'm like, that's brilliant. That'll influence the relationship shit later. Okay. So yeah, still not too thrilled, still hungover. So this part's funny. So, oh, Vanessa, I do wish you'd change your hair. I don't know why she's fucking from Boston, but why the glasses? Let's just say that me and Old Forester had a fight. Now, for those who don't know, Old Forester is a brand of bourbon. It's one of my favorite brands, actually. So yeah, this is we call her. She calls her short for Gertie. Telling you that they're shadowing us. This is that part I was talking about earlier, where I said your shirt didn't. They don't have the shirt yet for you, so they're gonna all talk about it. And I might change it later, like one specific size is in stock, and it's going to be the stupidest size ever, maybe. And they might comment it. I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. This might change. But again, my experience where I straight up did not have a shirt my first day. They gave me a t-shirt. A t-shirt with like just the company's logo on it, but not like the polo they give you. And so yeah, this is the important line too. Did that cheapskate Brody not give you a shirt yet? So, this isn't a character you haven't met yet. I'm not going to talk about him yet. So we're just going to say who. So this is like, shit. Okay, I'll explain to you later. Gertie, I told you Brody is no longer here anymore. That's the other brother, actually. The other brother from Bruce. Because Bruce is the one that's now managing the store. I told you there's two brothers, Bruce and Brody. Brody's dead. And that's why Bruce is back, trying to manage the store. And that's the phone conversation earlier was about like, oh, like with, right back here. With Bruce, where he's on the phone. That's what this is about, actually. So come by later tonight. We'll find out what it is later, you know? So there we go. Yeah, mom's the word. Say, who? Gertie wasn't a big fan of Bruce. Never fixed her computer, she said, right? So if it wasn't leaving him and their nation being an awful experience, then it wouldn't be here talking with the beloved Vanessa. So what brings you in? So this is the first experience that I haven't quite fixed yet. Okay. Well, I haven't really developed it yet, but this is the first experience of you trying to troubleshoot and fix a computer. So yeah, got a virus. This is actually a thing that happened. Someone had sewing software. And so I had to fix this shit for them. So let's take a look at it. And yeah, this I've put, okay. If anyone knows what this is from, bravo to you. But this is actually when the game is done. This is where the ending credits will go. Okay. So I put this here as a placeholder, just so I had something there as I'm working on it. But this is from Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is the ending song. If it gets caught by YouTube, fuck, that sucks. Yeah, that's what I have here as a placeholder. So that's about it. One of the things I want to point out, this is the actual menu music. I'll let this play for a little bit. So you got a good gist of it. It's a lot of this music that I have to write for this, just so it loops and it's not me having to write, long pieces. This is also kind of a placeholder, but I also really like it. This is a sample that I mashed up. The pad, the melody that dun, 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 that's a sample I mashed up. by lowering the tempo. I'm sorry, lowering the pitch, I should say, by 3 or 7 semitones. I don't remember now off the top of my head. And then it's a lot of Foley work of stuff that I grabbed off a site that I used for samples and presets. It's Splice. A lot of folks use it. It's actually shit. That song, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, uses a sample from Splice. It's a great service. So that pad, da, 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 that's the sample, along with, you can hear a hard drive like reading. Okay. And then the typing, that's not me. It's also pulled from Splice. But there's one really cool piece of sound design that's in this so far. And I'll show you what it is. So let's back up to here to our first decision that we can make. Okay? And let's see if anyone can identify what this is. That's this. My AirPods. That's all it is. I was sitting here. I usually will fidget with the case of my AirPods. I'll just sit there and just fidget with them. And so I was just sitting there fidgeting with them. And as I was fidgeting with them, I was like, damn, that sounds pretty cool, actually. I liked it a lot. And so I kind of just sat there and straight up compressed it, put some reverb on it, EQ'd it a little bit, just to get that nice snap. Oh, fuck. There goes my AirPods. Fuck. So I have a couple of other sounds that I'm going to use for that to basically that I can use it for other aspects of this. So that's pretty much all the UI stuff and music stuff that I have for at least this volume of the devlog. Again, you saw some art. Art is kind of maybe the next. Basically, I'm kind of working as most agile developers will do. They'll work inside of sprints. That's kind of what I'll be doing for each little devlog. So this is technically devlog number 1. Devlog 0, quote unquote, was me just announcing the game. If you haven't had a chance, though, at the top there, you can see that I have the Patreon right there. Okay. I don't have anything clever to show you code wise. Maybe that'll be the next one. There isn't anything groundbreaking yet. Maybe once I develop what the system is for actually working inside of the computers for the customers, that something actually clever will come up. But for the time being, that's pretty much about it. I do appreciate you watching this little segment on the first devlog for Byte Bros. If you haven't had a chance, make sure to go over to the channel. Again, this was recorded live on Twitch, twitch.tv/acorns. More links in the description. You'll find more ways to interact and learn more about the game. No date yet. I have no date. You kidding me? There's give me no date until I'm like comfortable and like, I hope to have a beta that I can announce at some point soon. But again, this is me working on my off days at work. So, goodbye. I will see you all very soon. Cheers.